congratulations, and let's talk about what sparked the comeback tonight.
Well, I thought that we had some offensive carryover, Chuck, from our last two games in that first half. And we just talked about playing a little bit looser offensively. I thought we had some great backdoor cuts. So I just thought we needed a few shots to go down, and obviously the 53% shooting, in the second half, along with our defense. I thought our trapping was phenomenal. And we had the right people shooting at the right time. Franklin, hadn't made a three. He went 2 of 2 from three, but that was something we were willing to live with. And some of their other guys shooting, we tried to do as good a job as we could on 22. Flanagan, I thought we did a great job on him. And then we just didn't want Cooper to have a high volume assist. He's averaging, close to 10 assists a game. And our big thing was not to allow him to get easy layups and dunks for his teammates. And I thought we did a good job, limiting him to what I think is a season low in assists.
We were talking just a few moments ago about the little run you made right at the end of the first half. You're down 19 with a little over 4 minutes to go. You got it down to 12 at the end of the half. I would think psychologically that just seems a lot more manageable than a 19-point ball game.
Yeah, there's no question. And we talked about trying to win that last 4-minute segment to try to give us some life, some breathing room. And 12 points for sure, Chuck, is obviously really, really manageable. I thought even when we were down 19, I thought in our huddles, we had a little bit different belief than maybe we did our past two games.
Talk, if you would, about Desi Sills. He was back to attacking the rim, and it just seemed like that sparked you offensively tonight.
Yeah, we ran a lot of plays for Desi tonight, quite frankly. Chuck, and he did a good job delivering. I thought he did a great job of attacking the rim. His free throws attempted, was phenomenal, getting double-digit FTAs. But we held Auburn below their scoring average, and that's a huge plus. And then I thought our rebounding, being +7 in the second half on the glass and +2 for the game, was really key too. And like I mentioned, just the 4 assists for Cooper was one of the things that we felt was paramount.
It looked like when Cooper drove and he got into the lane, everybody collapsed at that point. And he is 6'1", and there were points in there. It just seemed like physically you had him right where you wanted him.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job of converging. I thought our half-court traps were really good. I thought the first half, our turnovers led to some easy baskets for them. And just 5 second-half turnovers helped us not only score the ball because we had more opportunities, but it also kept Auburn out of transition. And then us forcing turnovers in both game one against Auburn at their place and then again tonight. Even though we turned it over a little bit too much, I thought us forcing them into 17 turnovers was key. And then obviously to come out the second half with the 18-4 run was really important to us from a confidence standpoint.
I want to mention Tate too before we go. In the first half, when you were struggling to score, Tate hit some shots that, at least there for a little while, you really needed the points that he gave you.
Yeah, I thought he was aggressive, Chuck. He did a good job knocking down 2 threes for us tonight. Shot a really, really good percentage. He moved the ball with 5 assists. He had 4 steals. I thought he kind of saved us from a momentum standpoint. And then I thought Devo Davis did a great job for us, right in that middle part of the second half. And Jalen Williams, played an entire 20 minutes. So our 3 freshmen were, I thought played a real pivotal role in that second half.
You talked about confidence as we wrap it up. You talked about confidence coming into this ballgame and the importance of reestablishing that. It seems like as this team walked off the floor tonight, a lot of that's been restored.
Yeah, our locker room, from a player standpoint, was really excited. I don't think a team could have played any harder than we played the second half. I think the effort, I would take that effort and the energy they played with anywhere against anybody when you play like that. I thought that they really laid it on the line in a game that we had to win.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Fun to watch tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right. Eric Musselman joining us from just outside.
All right, and we'll turn it over to the media now. Dudley, get us started, please.
Coach, just talk a little bit about, what y'all talked about at halftime and just how they came out with that 18-4 surge.
Yeah, it was just, we wanted to half-court trap a little bit more to try to create some steals. I think that was the biggest thing, is just to get the ball out of Cooper's hands, not overhelp when he drove so that we didn't give up. We gave up a couple dunks on pick and rolls early in the first half. And then, try to eliminate some of the touches for Flanagan as well. But just pace of play was really important for us as well. I thought in the second half, with the 44 points, I thought we played much more at the pace that we would like to play at.
Hutch.
Yeah, Coach, this is the third straight game where you've gotten off to a slow start offensively. Can you put a finger on why it's taken you so long to get going offensively?
Hutch, I mean, look, the bottom line is I don't know how many people have a TV and watch Alabama and what Alabama did and how quickly they got off. I've never seen a team, I saw them live against us, but then watching them against LSU, we've been in, some of these things we've gotten off to a 7-4 lead and then it's just kind of gotten away. But look, we lost. We got our butts kicked against two really, really good teams. But yeah, tonight we're not going to have the same starting lineup at Vanderbilt. I can tell you that.
Bob.
So Hutch, you're right. We did get off to a bad start again. Sorry, man.
Eric, you guys took the lead for good with a little 6-point spurt. I think Moody hadn't hit a shot. He was obviously having a tough night, but he gets a rebound off a missed free throw. He hits a couple free throws, and I think Tate had a lob dunk to Smith. That sequence, what were you guys doing good there to get a little cushion?
I just think, we just played like, I don't know if a team could have played any harder in the second half, the last 20 minutes. I mean, we had guys absolutely gassed in timeouts. But yeah, I mean, the lob is a play that we have that we do not run very much. It's kind of a late clock play, and Jalen read Justin. And then I thought our backdoor cuts, Auburn will get out and deny a little bit. And we wanted to try to open up the floor a little bit more than we have with some backdoor cuts and not try to thread the needle, but just allow that to kind of get us to move the ball a little bit more. And, I thought Moses' play, because he was really, really struggling, I thought it was a huge play for us.
And then obviously Auburn has the ball there at the end. Cooper's got the ball in his hands. He's a dangerous guy. What'd you guys do on that defensive sequence there to make him take a pretty tough shot? And then Moody got the rebound,
Yeah, I mean, our big thing was just to wall him up, make sure we went vertical. Under no circumstances did we want free throws attempted. I mean, it was demanded that there's absolutely zero chance that we put them on the foul line, and that we just had to go vertical, kind of converge on him. We felt like he would take the shot, even if somebody else might have been open for a kick out. And so it was important for us to kind of clog the lane and not let him be the guy, to finish the game.
And then obviously it's big to win however you do it, but to do it the way you did it, coming back from 19, I mean, how big is that when a team's, has been struggling?
I think, like I said, Bob, I think our locker room is excited. I think our young guys got to learn a little bit because we really didn't have a point guard there at the end when we were trying to break a press. So I think there's a lot of, like, when you can win and also use video to try to learn some things, I think that's really good as well.
Thanks, Eric. I might have a couple more if it comes back around.
Trey Schapp.
Coach, obviously the points off the bench tonight, Sills gave you 22 of those 42. How important was that? And then second, was there a player that said anything in the locker room at halftime, or was it all you talking?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the guys, Trey, probably, I mean, it was basically me, but I'm sure that, when I left, they probably said some stuff. Justin and Jalen Tate, just talked about that it's a winnable game and keep our heads up and keep plugging away. But I was probably gone when most of their talking happened, Trey.
Curtis.
Hey, coach, I guess Jalen Williams probably kind of carved out his role on defense and hustle and things like that. But tonight he had a tough drive, hit a three, had the go-ahead dunk. Do you think that's a sign of things to come for him offensively?
Well, I certainly think that, from a shot selection standpoint, I think he's tried to, he just wants to play minutes. And so I think he's done a good job with the shot selection. I thought at Tennessee, he had some really aggressive moves as well. And, but look, I mean, for a freshman big to play an entire 20 minutes, that's not easy. I'm going to shorten our rotation unless we stink, and I just continue to try to draw straws and put people in. I made a decision at halftime that I was not going to extend the bench whatsoever. And that's why, Jalen played so many minutes and it was a shorter rotation. I'm gonna go back to what I'm comfortable doing again, unless we, like in the first half, we were just throwing guys in there again to try to find some spurt.
Scotty.
Yeah, coach, just on Jalen Williams again, he finally did decide to pull the trigger on a three. I think he'd been hesitating a little bit maybe to pull one. I mean, how nice was it, to see him pull it and, knock it down?
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened early on is, he might take one right when he checked in, and we didn't want that. I mean, a lot of times you don't want that from the greatest shooters in the world. You want him to go up and down 3 or 4 times. And I think now that he saw that thing go down, I actually said to him the other day, hey, if you're open, we want you to shoot it. We don't just want you to be a ball swinger. So, I mean, hopefully with his feet set, I mean, we see it every day in practice that he's a really good shooter, and I think he's improved from a consistency standpoint from 3 as well.
Randy.
Eric, you shot or attempted only 5 second half. Was that part of the change in the game plan?
You kind of went out, Randy. I'm sorry, I didn't really get the question.
Okay. Eric, what I asked was, you only attempted 5 3-pointers in the second half. Was that part of the basket rather than launching threes?
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight was our season low in 3-point attempts. Auburn is one of the best shot blocking teams in the entire country. But we did not want to settle. We wanted to put pressure on their defense as much as we could. And I thought we did that. I did not want to come out in the second half and see long rebounds lead to long runouts for Auburn. And if you attack off the dribble drive and get to the rim, I think it allows your defense to get a little bit more set. So certainly, Randy, that was part of some of the stuff that we talked about internally at halftime.
One other question, Coach. It looked like in the second half, you talked about the half-court trap. It zone and then. And were you trying to mix up the defenses there in the second half to confuse Auburn?
Yeah, you kind of went out again, Randy, but I think the question we did not play. We played 1 possession of zone in the first half, but that was that trap was a shadow or a hit, we call it, and it was basically just leaving 1 player, and then the other 3 guys guarding 4 guys and trying to guard a man and a half. But we didn't play a zone. It was, we've done that in the last year and a half, Randy, just to try to get the ball out of certain players' hands. And I think that was something that was really important to us with Cooper.
Final question, Trey Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, I know you didn't start Desi, but was there any indication this week in practice stuff that he was going to kind of come out of his slump, or was it just happen in game with him?
Yeah, no, I think, I felt like Desi just had a couple games that he was, in a semi slump or whatever. He and I had a great conversation, yesterday or the day before, kind of a personal, just, life conversation. Like we love Desi. We want him, we need him to play well for us. We need him to be aggressive like he was. I think he came out with incredible intent to get to the rim and not settle and draw FTAs and get to the layups and get to the rim as much as possible.
Coach, do you think you're responsible for the trend across the league with wearing polos now? So everybody's doing it.
I did it before everybody. I guess that's up to you guys to decide. I did it in the NCAA tournament, thought they were going to not even let me coach the game. So.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.